Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube. I'm going to do a bit of a different video here today. I'm actually going to do a video covering HBS, which is Harebrained Schemes BattleTech, which is a turn-based strategy game.
Moving to position.
Um,
Look at that. Someone wants to get dead.
I'm just going to give you a little bit of gameplay here so you can actually see the game. The game isn't really extraordinarily fancy. To me, it's very basic turn-based strategy game. It's very similar to previous games I've played in the past, but also it does have some differences. One thing I'll point out is that, well, this is just a campaign mission, which you're not going to see me complete the whole mission, but I am going to show it off, a little bit of the gameplay here. So you can see the graphics of the game, see how the game mechanically works. This is actually a later campaign mission. Took some damage there on my grasshopper.
Is that all you've got? Waiting for orders.
Ooh, that's not really all that good, so let's move forward a little bit. But stay in cover so I can nerf the damage taken by this commando. And fire. Not a whole lot of damage there, but I got an SRM6 critical.
Badass.
Yeah? Got it.
As you can see, actually direction makes a difference. You can actually outflank enemies, hitting them at weaker flanks. And doing additional damage. You have different armor facings. It's really kind of hard to explain unless you've actually played the tabletop game. It is influenced and based off the tabletop game. And I have to say they did a really amazing job in making it feel like you're actually playing the tabletop game. You gotta think a little bit ahead. You gotta think about things like fire support and whatnot. There's other factors, especially with the campaign mode, because the campaign mode gives you control of a mercenary unit that you have to essentially be more or less a smart businessman. You have to figure out things like how much you're making off your missions. What's it costing you to run your missions, and essentially how are you going to make your monthly expenses, payroll, repairs, things of that nature.
I hear ya.
And it makes all for a very interesting game. There's some tactics behind it, as you can see here. Like right now, I'm actually using one of my Mech fire support.
Let's hit him hard.
And I took out his center torso, which is good. That puts him down. And we're just gonna sit here and wait till the enemy makes their moves and their turns. And the campaign mode does have a story mode to it. I've been finding the story actually very fun and fascinating. I haven't really I synced quite a bit of time into the game, but I haven't recently. I'd actually like to get back to playing BattleTech. Right now the game is available on Steam. I think it's still like $30 though on Steam, which really isn't bad for a game of this quality if you're into turn-based strategy games. I find the price tag well worth it, to be honest. It's a very good game. The graphics are really decent. The sounds are very good.
Yep.
The game for being a game made by
On it.
a per se small studio, I wouldn't consider Harebrained Schemes to be a large studio. They did a very good
I'm on
job with the game. Right now, I'm more worried about focusing on
Ready for orders.
one of the objectives.
Now, let's see how you handle this.
There we go. There's a vehicle destroyed.
Vehicle killed.
Hey, just admittedly speaking, though, as a game with RNG, yeah, RNG can be really dirty.
Got it. Firing on target.
And other things you have to concern with too with the mechs is heat. The game itself does a very good job explaining how to do things in the game, how things work in the game. You know, the mechanics is very keep it simple, stupid. Unlike Mech Warrior, this game does have hand-to-hand combat, which
Send me a
also,
real mech warrior.
if you have jump jets, you can do a move called Death from Above,
Waiting for orders.
where essentially the idea is you're actually jumping down on top of an enemy mech. And that's just kind of, that's one of those things I've always felt disappointed with Mech Warrior, that you couldn't do that. There has been some expansion DLCs. Personally, I haven't invested in the DLCs, and mostly I feel the price tag for what you're getting out of the DLCs just don't seem very appealing right now. And actually, they just announced their second DLC coming, which is Urban Warfare, and they actually have a third DLC coming, which they've already hinted the name.
Keep pushing them back. Show the
They've already
Torians that we will never stop fighting.
they've already hinted the name as being Heavy Metal, which Heavy Metal actually looks pretty interesting. They're leaking that there's been a lot. They're adding a lot of mechs with that DLC, including some of this so-called on-scene mechs, which is the. If you don't know what that is, essentially there's mechs from when BattleTech first started.
What do you need? That
just kind of got buried and forgotten for reasons. We'll leave it at that. Now, unfortunately, I'm giving my back to the enemy here, but I gotta get rid of these vehicles.
Roger.
So pretty much the tactical situation is I gotta sacrifice something to try and win the battle, and hopefully the enemy, the game will be a bit gentle.
Heading out. Confirmed.
There we go.
Reporting.
Fortunately, the RNG was good with all the other weapons. The PPC went kind of shit.
Ready for orders. I'm on it.
Yeah, that didn't do much damage. That was very unfortunate. And unfortunately, I'm taking some damage in the back here now from an enemy mech.
What can I do for you?
I'm gonna put her here.
On my way.
Now this Jaeger mech here, it's not a heavily armored mech, so what I'm doing is I'm using it in a more or less an artillery format. Let's hit this SRM carrier.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Yes, RNG, you were very good to me. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Those transports cannot be allowed to take this spaceport. Whatever it takes, we must push them back.
I'm under heavy fire here.
Ready for orders.
On my way.
Let's get focused on this Jenner before I get my back shot off. And let's activate all the firepower.
Roger that.
By the way, folks, I think I'm going to end it there. But, you know, take it for what you feel about what you see here in the video.
Yeah?
I really never don't do many game replays.
I'm taking
But
the
I
shot.
mean, I feel the sounds are good. I feel the music's good. The graphics really are actually pretty good for what the game is.
Enemy vehicle
I
destroyed.
mean, it's an it's a turn-based strategy game. So I'm not expecting to see like Call of Duty. I mean, the trees kind of just which is pretty much most of the environment.
Reporting live
The big
camp.
thing is every game I've played, I could clearly judge what I was looking at for what it was. And honestly, I just, because this game's from an independent studio, I really didn't expect much. I like how they added features like such as biodomes. Right now I'm in an Arctic biodome, which gives me bonuses to removing heat from my mechs. I felt that was really cool. Unfortunately, there's no water here in this mission, but even like stomping through the water with one of these mechs is really awesome. You don't take control of any tanks or artillery or anything like that. It's just pretty much always your 4 mechs. You have multiple mech pilots. Each mech pilot, based on their skills, has different abilities.
Blown past my armor.
And what they can and cannot do.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Mechs, based on the way they're set up, has different abilities, such as jump jets and things of that nature. So it all just makes for a pretty interesting game
You
to me.
betcha.
They actually really did some advanced work, I feel, to the game. And it's a lot of fun.
Here we go.
Is it worth $30? Honestly, I feel it's worth $30, but it's even a sweeter deal if you wait till it goes on sale, because then it's something like $20. So anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed watching some BattleTech footage and hearing my opinion about HBS BattleTech. And yeah, hopefully I will see you on the next video.